Before that, I will introduce the indicators. The first one, Mr. Albertus Whitby, SSNAD, English lecturer in SE-KABUPATEN Symbiosis ended, graduated from Flinders University, Australia. The second, Mr. Pensius Pau, MPD, English lecturer in SE-KABUPATEN Nusa Bunga Floresta, graduated from Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. The last, Mr. Franciscus Lodubasa, MPD, English lecturer in SE-KABUPATEN Nusa Bunga Floresta, graduated from Pasca Sarjana Undangan. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first one, I'll give chance for affirmative team to introduction. Time is yours.
Good morning, dear debaters, dan kita moderator, the debaters from opposite team, and all present here. Thank you for the chance that given to us. Now, let me introduce our team. My name is Christina Julian Pano as the first speaker, and beside me.
Okay, my name is Johannes Jambota as the second speaker, and next to me.
And I, Monica Nawato, as the third speaker.
Thank you, affirmative team. Now give a chance for opposition team.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The audience, honorable judges, and my dear partner. First of all, thanks to God, because this blessing, we can gather in this place in good health. My name is Maria Gabriel Dabu. I am the first speaker from the opposition team, and beside me,
My name is Vivian Anita Tai as the second speaker, and beside me.
my name is Ashia Ingama as the third speaker. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, opposition team, for introduction and also affirmative team. Now we would like to start our debate. I will give a chance first for affirmative team. First speaker, 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Good morning, dear debaters. Thank you for the chance that given to me. And as the first speaker from affirmative team, would like to tell you several arguments that make us agree with this motion. This motion today is students are not allowed to bring cell phone to school. So let me define this motion. According to Wikipedia.com, cell phone is an electronic telecommunication device that has the same basic capabilities as a conventional fixed line, but can be carried anywhere. And school is an institution designed for the teaching of students or pupils, the supervision of educators or teachers. Cell phones are one of the personal communication tools. The users of the cell phone are almost at all levels, so it's not surprising when we look at the small children, teenagers, adults, and parents with familiar with these communication tools. School children or teenagers are among the communities that use the cell phone the most. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable educators, for students, cell phone not just a means of communication. Various features are available for use in other activities. For example, application Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, and other facilities. Of course, the most common reason of school children is browsing to find information and about learning material and assignment given by the teacher. But is this reason acceptable? Well, what should we know is that students are worried learning concentration will be disturbed and wrongly access sites that are contrary to learning activity. The Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection in Ministerial Regulation prohibits students from bringing cell phone to school. If it's stipulated to prohibit adults carrying the cell phone, it will be a positive regulation. Say the head of Education and Culture, Department. Yes, please.
Okay. You said before, if you agree, if cell phone not allowed to bring to school because disrupt. That's right. Disrupt concentration. That's right. Okay. Now I will ask you, how many percent students disturb their concentration because brings up into school? Thank you.
It's not about that. Because you can look at the daily life in students in the school. If they bring cell phone, the concentration will be disrupted. Okay, back to my statement. So, we agree that students are not allowed to bring cell phone to school. Now next, bring cell phone to school. Yes, please.
But I need a quality data because if you say bring cell phone to school can disturb their concentration, I think maybe it's just little school or little student.
Because other concentration students is not about the private data. Okay, wait, can you listen to me? This motion is to real life. We know where is the students. We know if we bring the sample to school can make the disrupt to the concentration. So it didn't make the data. Okay, back to my statement. When students are studying and suddenly there is no rain, it will certainly make the class atmosphere not come to see. Because students start to the cell phone and it will be used by students to use the cell phone. And the teacher's explanation cannot be captured because students' minds are divided by playing their same cell phone silently shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, and also when students bring cell phone to school, students' concentration will be more focused on their cell phone. For example, on cell phone there are applications that affect students' attention and instead of listening the explanation. Students are instead focused on their application and their cell phone, even they are afraid to secretly play the cell phone during our lesson, so that students are even enrolled in their cell phone until they class. Thank you.
Thank you for first speaker from affirmative team. Now I give the chance for opposition team. First speaker, 5 minutes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the time given to me. I, as first speaker from the opposition team, will present our argument. Our motion today is this House makes that students are not allowed to bring cell phone to school. And we don't agree with our motion today because, according to my opinion, if students bring cell phone to school, because it be a tool in the learning process. And according to WBKB or ID 22nd October 2019, say that positive impact bringing cell phone to school because it can help students to get information in any course very easily. Because cell phone complete any application, including educational application, and beside that, search engine like Google. All students can access various information education, so that it is very help their task and can increase their knowledge and recognize them knowledge to improve academic achievement.
Interruption, please. Are you sure students use their cell phone in school they really use is to learning?
Yes, I'm sure.
How? How can you make sure?
Because if bring cell phone to school, why I say if cell phone is a tool to help students, like help them to work tasks. Because in Indonesia, I found according to STBS Perpustakaan in 2019 say that Indonesia have 34% province where 34.90% school not yet have a library, and although there is a library but still have limited book and cell phone is I'm sorry. And although there is a library, but still have limited. Thank you.
You say that they can get information, but are you sure they can get information that it's related with the lesson? So, and then are you sure if the teacher is controlling the students to access any sites? Thank you.
Yes, I'm sure. Because if the limited book or not have concentration per student, in example, not just application other games and etc. But according to JUARA.com, Joel 14, 2021 said that have 80% student watching educational or learning content. Thank you.
Okay, I know your argument that you prove with the data, but on the fake, or we can see in real life, what I will make you as are the teacher can handle if the students can search the information, it's not related with the lesson.
Yes, I'm sure because we can see in our daily life, and like I said before, in Indonesia, have library is limited.
Sorry. Are you sure? We know that in the classroom have the 20, maybe 25 students, and are you sure the teacher can handle it?
Yes, I'm sure.
I think that because the teacher can one by one to the students.
Okay, but that is just your opinion. So I will continue my argument. And besides that, can increase comfort in learning. Many students feel comfort with your cell phone study time. Because if no, so must need long time to search any source information, they need to go to library. And cell phone provides many applications that can help the learning process, collect the recurrent information. Besides that, cell phone can become tool to help students to use it to record, take a picture, and can study again at home. That is, get easily study process to students before examination or inadequate with here again or memorized material that have been saved on their cell phone. And decided it increased the ability of managing time. And decided with today's modern era, mobile phones are one of the tools for students to expand their knowledge. Especially now that, so from my argument in data, I totally
Time is
disagree with
over.
this.
Okay, thank you for the first speaker from opposition team. We move to second speaker from affirmative team. 5 minutes, time is yours.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the honorable educators and the debaters from opposite team. Thanks for the chance that's given to me. Now, I, as a second speaker from the affirmative team, would like to continue the argument from the first speaker before. We totally agree with this motion. We totally agree if students are not allowed to bring their cell phones to schools. Other than what has been explained by the first speaker before, that if students are allowed to bring their cell phones to school, cell phones can bother students' learning concentration. Another negative impact if students are allowed their cell phones to school are the first, cell phones can make students have an instant mentality. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable educators, we all know that now cell phones provides various learning sites on the internet. But don't we think that this can make the students have an instant mentality? Because if students always rely on their cell phones, this can make the students not have finding power. And this can also make the students have an instant mentality. Everything depends on their cell phones. You know, like now, cell phones work like drugs. It can make the students feel addicted. And that's why we totally agree if students are not allowed to bring their cell phones to school. And the next, allow students access to negativity in school. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on please. Ladies and gentlemen and the honorable educators, we know that mobile phones, just like what has been explained before, that mobile phones provide... Yes, please.
Okay, before you say, when the student brings cell phone to school, the student can be instability and be addicted, right?
Okay, I'm gonna answer. I mean, cell phones can make students have an instant mentality because students just using their cell phones to find a learning material. But in my opinion, cell phones is not the only one tool to help the students to find learning material. They can use book, they can use computer. So they don't have to bring their cell phones to school to find learning material because it can make the students have an instant mentality and fighting power. And that's why we totally agree with this motion. And the next, no thanks. Allow students access to negativity in school. Just like what has been explained before, that cell phones provide. Yes, please.
But if we searching the materials on the internet on cell phone, it can the same because when the cell phone, the book or the
Okay, I get your point. So it means cell phones can help the students to find learning material, right?
Alright.
Yes, but cell phones is not the only one tool to help the students find learning material because students don't have to bring their cell phones to school because they can use computer to find learning material if they want to find learning material from the internet. And that's why we totally agree with this motion.
Instruction list. What is the difference of the computer and the cell phone?
Once again, please.
You say searching materials can be used computer. And then what's the difference computer and the cell phone?
Students don't have to bring their cell phones to school because it can bother students' learning concentration. But when they use computer, it will never bother students' learning concentration because it's not their own thing. I mean, they can use the facilities from school. Okay, thanks for the question. No thanks. We know that mobile phones allow students to access various sites on the internet without accepting the site that they should not open. Yes, please.
But in cell phone and especially the internet, many searching and very complex.
I'm sorry, time is up.
And cell phones allow students to access negativity in school. For example, reported from Okesam.com, the headmaster of the Mukamura District Public High School, Ali Muksin, on Wednesday, 29 April 2017 said, our school students are not allowed to bring cell phones to school after the teacher found pornographic videos on students' cell phones. And this is proof that your argument is totally wrong because cell phones can allow students to access negativity in school. And that's why we totally agree with this motion. And the next, cell phones can lead social inequality between students. We all know, ladies and gentlemen, and the other educators, students come from various background family. There are some students who comes from a poor family. And if students are allowed to bring their cell phones to school, it can make social inequality between students. Because some students have more expensive cell phones than their friends, and it can make other students feel insecure.
Time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you for the second speaker from opposition team. You're close to both teams. Now I give the chance for opposition team opposition team to give their argument. 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Thank you for your time given to me. I am as the second speaker from the opposition team want to present my argument. We totally disagree with this motion because, according to us, if students bring cell phone to school, it can help students to entertain themselves from boards and improve their creativity. And if students listen in class using printed book, makes students bored quickly. Why I say that? Because student bored because many assignment in the book, and then they can listen music like brand games, which can also help improve their knowledge. And according to www.rijalo.co.id, Tuesday, 26 November 2019, say that read time is an important element in the learning process at school. Because taking breaks during rest, study hours can improve. Yes, please.
Okay, so you say that cell phones can be used as a refreshing tool for students when they feel bored in class, right?
Yes.
So my question is, how can you make sure that when students use their cell phones as an entertainment
I got your point.
No, just let me finish my question. When students use their cell phones in school, it's very possible for students.
But I got your
No,
point.
just let me finish me what my case is about.
Because when the student using cell phone in the school can make the student improve their creativity. Because
But are you sure they can?
yes, I'm sure.
Are you sure they can access the negativity in school?
Yes, I'm
The
sure.
teacher cannot control one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, and the other educators, in one class, the teacher has to take care at least for 10 students, and it's very impossible for students to control one by one, and it makes the students very impossible to access negativity in school, not really use their cell phones as an entertaining tool. So your argument is totally wrong. I'm sorry to say that.
But you say the teacher can manage all students, but I think the teacher can manage the student because in one place the student wrong, and then the teacher must be manage all his students. Okay, I will continue the argument. Now please, according to www.result.co.id, Tuesday 26 November 2019 say that written is an
Interruption, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, my question is, how can you make sure the students can control the teacher one by one when the students use their cell phones in school? Because the
I got your
teacher have to take care of
I got your
the students.
point.
Please answer it.
Yes, I will answer you. The teacher can manage all the students because the teacher have a strictly rules, and from that the student can do.
Can you give the real example? How?
Yes,
What's
yes.
the 633 rules?
Yes, of course, such as when the student brings cell phone to school, it just to searching information in the materials. Then
But it's
they-
not impossible. The students can hide their cell phones when they bring their cell phones to school. They can use it when they go to the toilet, and they can use it for negativity.
But I think you are wrong because when the toilet, many student enter waiting to enter the toilet. But I think it is impossible for student using the cell phone to negative effect. So I will continue my argument. According to www.indozone.com, March 16, 2021 say that if students are bored with listen, students can read online books such as free book blog and online book read application that can be accessed for free, 100% free book having a collection up to 50,000 literary books, fantasy, travel, history tales, or novel. Free book has an edition feature that can read stories through twice, therefore students can get rid of their boredom with this application. Besides that, according to www.kemendikbud.co.id, November 29, 2020 say that cell phone can open the challenge to increase the student creativity by making some interesting content such as video YouTube, blog animation, or
Time is over. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I propose a second speaker from both teams. I think this is very good debate. Now, I'll give the chance for third speaker from affirmative team. 5 minutes, time is yours.
Okay, good morning everybody. Thank you for the time and chance that has given to me. The third speaker from our team. Now I will complete the statement from my friends and said before. And now we from affirmation team strongly agree with this motion where students are allowed to bring cell phone to school. We are not allowed to bring cell phone to school because there are many negative impacts for students' learning development. And as we all know, the cell phone is a communication tool that many people have, and from all walks of life can have this thing. Apart from being a communication tool, cell phones can also be used as a medium for finding information for learning for everyone. But are you sure that cell phone is really useful? We also know that cell phone has many negative impacts for students. According to one trusted science of the Ministry of Religion, cell phones can greatly disturb students' learning concentration if they allow to withdraw cell phone to school and use it for learning media. And one of the negative impacts in students if cell phones are allowed to bring to the school, one of them is
teachers can call students servants. So I think it's not a big deal.
But I have data from the trusted site of Ministry of Religion. They say that the cell phones can greatly disrupt students' learning concentration.
Intrusion please. But as I said before, the students can turn off their cell phone. And the teachers can call the student servant.
But I think a report by CNET.com, there are 65% of students hide their cell phones and play in the classroom. Thank you. Back to my point. The real example, the cell phones can foster students' instant mentality in the real life, and if the teachers give an assignment to make papers, I think that some students just copy and paste the material from internet and
Intrusion please.
no, thank you. The material in internet, and I think this can foster student instant mentality. Yes, thank you.
I think your data is not valid because you don't have that need of the data. So I think your data is not valid.
Can you repeat your question?
I think your data is not valid because your data are not have a need or
But also the data is we feel in the real life when we use cell phones.
intrusion please. I think your valid data, not about just your opinion.
It's not opinion. It's just the real life. We feel it too. Can you feel when you use cell phone? You feel like trust. You feel. I'm sorry. I think you have feel it too when you use cell phone. You feel. Decide. Okay. Back to my point. And the second reason that make us from information team strongly agree.
Intrusion please.
No, thank you. With the cell phones,
Thank
you
you,
can allow
please.
students.
I think it just happened to you.
No, and I have. No, my friend has told to me, and I see in the real life, me and my friends were using cell phones can make us. Okay,
Time is up. Please continue your argument.
with the cell phones can allow students to access negative things in school. As my friend has the second speaker has said before, headmaster of Kompo district find the pornographic videos on students' cell phones. And I think with this case, of course, a proof when the students are allowed to bring cell phone to school is not a good thing. And your argument from the opposition team is totally wrong. And report by research get.com. With this case can make students' behavior and mindset is bad. And with allow students to bring cell phone to school can make social inequality in students because not all the students come from the various background family. And I think there are some students have expensive cell phones and make students.
I'm sorry, time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you for third speaker from affirmative team. Now the chance for opposition team. Third speaker, 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Thank you for the time given to me. I, as a first speaker of the whole team, will present our argument. Our motion page is house belief that students are not allowed to bring someone to school. We ask the opposition team to disagree with our motion today because according to us, by bringing someone to school, it will make it easier for students to communicate with their parents. And according to JUARA, say that some of benefits when students bring someone think it's not effective. As I said before, when students bring someone to school, it will make it easier for them to communicate.
Can you explain why it's not effective?
Because I think it's effective because I think it's effective if students bring their someone itself. They don't must to borrow their teacher phone.
But are you sure when they bring their cell phone, they just use to call their parents?
Yes, I'm sure that and as the learning process is taking place, they can turn off the cell phones. And when the learning is over, they can use their cell phone to go to their parents to pick up them. Okay, I will continue.
But I have data from
When students bring someone to school, it's effective communication.
Interruption, please. But I have data by CNET. There are 66% of students hide their cell phones and play it in the classroom.
As I said before, in the classroom, they can turn off their cell phones, so it's not a big deal. Okay, I will
But I
continue.
have data. There are still students use their cell phones in school, in the classroom. They use
As
it
I
to
said
play.
before, listen to me. As I said before, the students can turn off their cell phone and the
Yes,
teachers
I get
can
your
call
point.
their
Yes, they can
phone.
turn off
Okay, I will
their-
continue my
I get-
argument.
No,
But bring us
please,
down to
please.
school, they have to
Please.
communicate. Yes, please.
But I get your point when they can turn off their phone. But the data survey that there are still 65% of students are not turn off their cell phone and play and hide their cell phone and play.
Okay, I'll go to point one. According to JUARA.com, during 2020, say that have 80% students watching educational video. Okay, I will continue my argument. How long do you communicate with
Interruption, please.
Yes, please.
You said that the 38% is right.
No, you're wrong. Okay, I will continue my argument. According to this particular document, it says that cell phones make communication easier for a child when parents or the family will pick up the child when they come home from school. And according to JUARA.com, say that the student communication is generally facilitated by the persons of smartphone. And this also applies in the world of education, where communication between students and their parents can run more easily, and it can be done on communication application that was program and the like. By bringing someone to school, students can call their parents to pick up them. Students with busy parents will be forget to pick up the children. By bringing someone to school, students can call their parents, demanding the parents to pick up them. It is clear that someone can make it easier for students to communicate. And by bringing someone to school, it's not only for students to call their parents to pick up them, but also by bringing someone to school, students can contact their parents to inform them of their situation. Parents can know the condition of the children. And bringing someone to school, students can inform parents when they want to go home from school. So parents will eventually pick up them from school to avoid criminal acts. Example of criminal case that occurred in Indonesia in court. First, according to KATOLIK January 15, 2020, and this was students arrested by.
I'm sorry, time is over. Give applause to the third speaker from 4 minutes. Well, thank you so much for debaters. Now, the chance for give the reply speech. The first chance I give to opposition team to give reply speech. 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Thank you for the time given to me. I am the second speaker from the opposition team want to conclude our argument. First of all, as a team, opposition, we disagree with affirmative argument because according to us, if students bring cell phone to school, it can make them addicted and it can become a learning tool. And then according to www.post.com October 2nd, 2018 say that any school in Bandar Lampung allows our school to bring cell phone to school. And the reason is cell phone can be used as a means of obtain recent information to support the student learning progress. And besides that, can increase comfort in learning. will they use cell phone studying time? Because if no, so must need long time to search any source information, there need we go to library. And cell phone provides many applications that can help the learning process, collect the record to get the information. And the second, when students bring cell phone to school, or can help students to entertain themselves from work and improve their creativity. If students listen in class using printed book, makes students bored quickly. Students can play cell phone during rest, and they can listen to music, play brainstorm games, which can also increase their knowledge. As according to www.paymentdebut.co.id November 25, 2020 say that cell phone can open the challenge to increase their student creativity by making some interesting content such as video YouTube, look animation, creator. And then, for example, during classes, students use their time to have fun with their friends by making video content on the TINKAT application to develop student creativity in order to develop the student brain in a developed that will have a positive impact on students in the future. As according to www.medcom.id July 5, 2018 say that TikTok has a positive effect on teenager and child, adolescent and family psychologist INGGRIS say that TikTok can be good application to foster children creativity. Third, when students bring cell phone to school or will make it easier for them to communicate with their parents. As according to www.discordkingdom.id say that cell phone make communication easier. For example, when parents or the family will pick up the children when they come home from school, their parents don't. I totally disagree with that.
Time is over. Thank you for reply speech from opposition team. Now the chance for opposition team. Reply speech. 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Okay. Good morning, the teachers, ladies and gentlemen, and the debaters from the opposite team. Thanks for the chance that's given to me. Now, I'm from affirmative team who would like to give you our reply speech. Ladies and gentlemen, and the other debaters, we from affirmative team once again state that we absolutely agree with this motion. We absolutely agree that students should not bring their cell phones to school. The reason why we agree with this motion is that we believe that if students are allowed to bring their cell phones to school, there are so many negative impacts of cell phones for students. Because as previously explained by our team members before, that cell phones can bother students' learning concentration. Because when students use their cell phones in school, students are too focused on their cell phones and it can bother students' learning concentration. This has a negative impact on students. According to KEMENAG.go.id, cell phones have a negative impact for students' learning progress because cell phones can make difficulty in learning for students. And that's why we totally agree with this motion. And the second speaker from opposite team said that cell phones can help students to find the learning material. But sorry to say, young lady, your argument is totally wrong. Why did I say that? Because if students always rely on their cell phones to looking for materials, it can help them have an instant mentality and not have finding power. So your argument is totally wrong. And the next, cell phones can lead to cheating on students. Ladies and gentlemen, and the other leaders, as just like what has been explained by the first speaker before, that cell phones is a communication tool that can help students to communicate with others. But if students are allowed to bring their cell phones to school, students can use their cell phones to communicate with their friends in a wrong time. I'm going to give you a simple example. Well, during the exam, students can use their cell phones to exchange the answer with their friends. They can go to the toilet and they can contact their friends to us about the material. And that's why we agree with this motion. And the next, when students bring cell phones to school, students can use their cell phones to do other useless things, such as playing online games. And this can bother students' learning concentration. And also, if students are bringing their cell phones to school, students can access to negativity in school. For example, reported from Pakistan.com, the headmaster of Mokomuko Public High School said that our school students are not allowed to bring cell phones to school after the teachers found pornographic videos on students' cell phones. This is proof how cell phones can give a bad influence for students. It can break their mentally, it can break their learning concentration. And that's why students should not bring their cell phones to school. In addition, cell phones can make social inequality between students. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable educators, we all know that students come from various background families. There are some students who comes from a rich family and they can buy an expensive cell phone. Meanwhile, there are some students who come from a poor family and they cannot buy an expensive cell phone. And this can, and if students are allowed to bring cell phones to school, this can make social inequality between students because some students have more expensive cell phones than their friends, and it can make other students feel insecure, and it's not positive for students. And ladies and gentlemen, and the other educators and the opposite team, could you imagine how can students watch porn videos in school? It's so embarrassing. And with so many witnesses of cell phones for students, we hereby declare that we still, in our opinion, we still agree with this motion. We still agree that students should not bring their cell phones to school because there are so many negative impacts on students when they bring their cell phones to school. Oh, in addition, according to SEE.net, there are 65% of students use their cell phones and we still, in our opinion, we still agree that students are not allowed to bring cell phones to school. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for reply speech from affirmative team. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give applause to both teams today for the very final round. Okay, affirmative team and opposition team. Once again, I will inform you, the educators will not give a comment or argument now, but after the debate competition. And I will say, in the debate, you are rival, but after that, you are friends. Thank you so much for your performance today, and God bless you all. Thank you.